Good evening. So a little bit later than expected. It is content to cocktails. I have one more of these to do. This one before the end of the year. It's crazy. So this evening we're going to do something a little bit fun. There's a tradition here of doing something a little bit silly at Christmas. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to open the champagne with one of these, a cheeky little cheeky little champagne saber. So we have a bottle on ice. So content to cocktails, if you've not tuned in before, is sort of a weekly deep dive into all things video making and video marketing. And I've been doing this now for about 3 years, and it's really all about, hello Chloe, how you doing? How are you? It's really about just having a bit of fun, a bit of kind of time to share some of my knowledge, but also just time to sit down and just have a chat about all things video. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride the last few weeks. Month with kind of technology and sort of dealing with things at home, but we're now almost out of the year. So what we do in this weekly bit of nonsense, we are, who's this? Yes, awesome indeed. Well, that's exciting, isn't it? What are we doing tonight? We are just going to have a chat about video things, but the cocktail side of things, we are going to go for it's a bold choice. It's a bold choice for a live show. We're going to do a Death in the Afternoon, which is a cocktail devised by Ernest Hemingway, and to sort of give you a sense of where things are. Tonight, it is a champagne and absinthe cocktail. Normally I'd do things like a sort of an eggnog or sort of something a bit more festive, but I thought I just really haven't had the the time to go creating eggnogs and all that kind of stuff. So we're going for some showboating nonsense with a bottle of champagne and a cocktail, which is actually very nice, but it sounds quite pokey, which obviously it is. And Hemingway, in his book of the same name, so in the book he says, pour 1 jigger of absinthe into a champagne glass, add iced champagne until it attains the proper opalescent milkiness. And then the bit that sort of definitely gives you that sort of insight into the Hemingway lifestyle: drink 3 to 5 of these slowly. So, I think we'll be doing one. There's one of these. I've got one of these in me. Now, we have had in the past people's comments not turning up. So I'm just going to go over and check. So if anybody's out there commenting and I'm not seeing them, so I apologize. I'm just going to check out where things are. It's Andy. There we go. Yeah. So there we go. I can see Andy. I can see Ruth. I can see Liz. So they're on my personal page. So hello. So yeah. So we're going to open this bottle of champagne here. Sorry if I didn't see everybody, but I can see people now. So surprise is something I do occasionally. We're gonna whack. What we're basically going to do is we're going to knock the top off this bottle of fizz. Now it's been chilled. The first thing you've got to do when doing this is kind of get it really nice and cold, which we have got it. So we're going to take off the cage and just move it up a bit. So we're going to strip all of this stuff off here. So Liz said, "Oh my God, I'll be a top." Yeah, no, it's definitely a one, a one drink kind of drink, Liz. It is not one for, I'm not going to be taking Hemingway's advice, because 3 to 5 of these would be a bit of a killer. So normally I'd want to get all the crud off the neck. You're looking for the mold line on the bottle, because that's where you run the blade along. So what we now do is we just move the cage up a bit so that we're not whacking the as we run the blade up, we're not hitting the cage. We want to strike the top of the bottle firmly and evenly, and we don't want everything sort of flying out everywhere. Now I've been lucky with this so far. I've only had one bottle sort of explode on me, so we're hoping that this goes well. I will point it away from the computer. So oh my God, I can't believe I keep doing this live on Facebook. It's so stupid. The kind of capacity for it to go horribly wrong is so what I'm looking to do is, once I can find my, there we go, I'm looking basically to sort of chop it up like that and knock the top off. So 1, 2, 3. What have I just destroyed? I feel like I've just blown something up. Anyway, it's done it. There we go. How about that? Liz is asking, she says, how do you know this, Tom? When do you learn about whacking off a I don't think you're allowed to. Are you allowed to ask that question on Facebook Lives, Liz? About it? So when did you learn about whacking off a champagne bottle with a saber? So I don't know. It's just one of those things. I was given this for my 40th birthday by my brother-in-law, who is highly unlikely to be watching, as he doesn't believe in Facebook. I've got it. I've got to use it. So Liz asks, "Have I already had one?" No, I'm just in high spirits. I'm feeling that sort of demob happy feeling. So let's get to making this cocktail. Yes. Yeah, Chloe says my brother does it with his fencing saber. Yeah, I have my epee up there, but it's not really heavy enough. There's now somewhere in this room now is the top of a champagne bottle. It is an Aldi special, actually. Aldi do a good line in cheapy champagnes. Hey Christina, how you doing? So does your brother? No, he's just not a fan of Facebook. Right. Thanks, Andy. I'm not going to read that out. I can see you. So here we are. Here we go. So we have a measure of. This is going to completely blitz me. So it's a measure of the absinthe. I know I'm live on LinkedIn, so hello LinkedIn. If anyone's there, I think we should go over and see if anyone's on my LinkedIn feed. Let me just top it up, as Hemingway says. We top it up with a little bit of with champagne until it sort of becomes a sort of a cloudy. Okay, yeah. It's getting there. So it's probably going to, this isn't the sort of thing one should be doing on LinkedIn, is it really? Content cocktails. Let's see. Let's just go there and see if anyone's there, because there seems to be something up with the commenting here. Anyway, hey Matt, how you doing? Matt Thornton says, hey Tom. Hello Matt. So here we are. There we go. It's starting to go cloudy. So this is the Death in the Afternoon Hemingway favourite. And I have to say, it's very nice. It's kind of it's the sort of thing you could, as Hemingway suggests, drink 3 to 5 of these slowly. You would be absolutely hammered though by the end of it. But hey, such is life. So video. we got the nonsense out of the way. So things that haven't happened so far. That is, we haven't managed to explode a bottle of champagne all over my study. I have managed to successfully pour a death in the afternoon, which is very nice. And I am going to, I thought I'd sort of take a walk through this year, video-wise. It's been a fascinating one, actually, both personally and sort of professionally, because we've seen the inexorable rise of TikTok. There we go. It's Liz. She's on. There we go. And your face turns out. This is nice. You see, I can see your face, Liz, on LinkedIn. Fabulous. Hello. So the sort of inexorable rise of TikTok. So I'm currently spending quite a lot of time now that I've, broadly speaking, got all of my editing done, and I'm sort of in the process of spending a bit of effort and energy to get my head around TikTok and build up my TikTok presence. Because I was chatting with Nicola Rowley about PR, and she was saying that actually one of the things that's really that people are that sort of broadcasters and people are looking at, so journalists are looking at, broadcast journalists in particular, is that a strong TikTok following is important, and again, it's one of these places where I know I need to be active and present because it is an important video platform, but we really, we all sort of have to put our energies where they're needed most. And frankly, the last sort of 6 months, my energies have been mostly needed around delivering work for clients and not going completely insane, which has been a little bit of a risk at times. Mental health has been iffy, to say the least, but I'm sort of out the other side of that, which is great. I think it's a sort of post-COVID sort of come down almost, but we move forward. So for me, TikTok has been the thing that I've been looking at for the last 6 months, going, I've got to get my head around this. And I've been learning I've been teaching myself some exciting new sort of editing techniques and styles, and I'm going to be sharing some stuff around that in the new year. Now, speaking of the new year, in early January on the 9th, and actually, so, okay, I need to talk about this. So, and helping people set podcasts up. So Liz has got a fabulous podcast called Electric Evolution, which is all about the wonderful and fascinating world of EV vehicles and renewable energy in sort of, I would say, the home and business settings, and kind of conversations around, I suppose, what's happening, doing our bit, how we as kind of, as individuals can get involved. And it's been really interesting editing up those podcasts. And we've sort of been building out a system and a process over the last few weeks to kind of deliver the podcast. And it's growing nicely. It's growing really nicely. So I would exhort anyone to go and check out the check out Electric Evolution. So chuck a link here, Liz. Let's see, over in, Andy says, I'm using it a lot and getting some results from it. Yeah, and it's perfect, really perfect for you, Andy, isn't it? It's that sort of it's that the platform where it's a very immediate platform, and actually one of the things I want to be focusing on. So at the moment, I'm sort of in the membership. I'm sharing stuff around repurposing, and December's a bit weird anyway because people frankly don't want to be doing video content creation in December, it would seem. So I'm still sort of churning it out. But we will be taking a look at. I've been teaching myself like I say, I've been teaching myself how to do some of these more sort of viral style edits, which makes me sound like I'm about 40,000 years old when I say it like that. I believe that the young people are liking this style of video. I should learn how to do that. So I've been taking a proactive approach to improving my skills, and I've been doing things like creating PNG overlays and stuff, so I can when I'm editing sort of TikTok videos, I'm not sort of incurring into the safe space. Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, the whole Andy says TikTok's great for repurposing Facebook and Insta stories in your own footage, which is exactly where I started. So I've been doing this repurposing thing in the membership, and we've been talking about the practicalities of it, the how you edit it, but we've got the Ruth Templeton. Yes, so Ruth, do so this is the oh, that's, hang on, oh, cancel, let's show. So go and check out, so anybody wanting to check out the podcast, there it is, just there. It's great. It's a fascinating listen, really good. And Liz has a natural way of keeping the conversation flowing and having kind of friendly, open chats with kind of people who've got fascinating stories to tell. And having just recently edited one with somebody who's an EV racing driver. Oh, who's this? It says, I'm here, albeit very late. You're not very. Hello, Emma. How you doing? It is nice to see you here. Yeah, Chloe. I mean, I think this is it. It's kind of. It is. It would be well worth kind of looking at how perhaps we take some of the content I've been editing up and sort of looking to repurpose it for TikTok, because it's those kind of demos. But I've been playing around with that style of kind of it's that sort of very kinetic style where you've got lots, it's quite jump cutty, and you've got sort of, it's just talking to camera, and you've got the sort of the text that comes up. It's people like, as much as Grant Cardone is the world's biggest tool, or certainly on the list of the world's biggest tools. And I'm sorry, Grant, if you're listening, but his TikTok content is really good. So that sort of style of video performs really well. So I wanted to kind of work out how to do that. Yeah. So Emma, I'm not holding back this evening. We are drinking a death in the afternoon, which is what you've missed is me chopping the top off a champagne bottle with a sword. It was all very, it's all good fun. Nobody lost an eye, which is great. I've got my protective goggles on. So yeah, the sort of the whole TikTok side of things is interesting. I've kind of been, so this is streaming live to Twitter. Actually, I haven't checked out if anyone is on. So when I stream content of cocktails, it goes out to obviously the various places on Facebook. It goes to the various kind of LinkedIn. So yeah, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. but I'd really like this to be, I'd love it if I could multi-stream both to sort of to Instagram and TikTok at the same time. But that is not something that's on the cards at the moment. Oh God, you see, this is it. This is why I don't go on Twitter. It's because I've just opened up Twitter to see how the stream's going, and I'm presented with a post from Human Mop Michael Fabricant saying, Brexit benefit. New quota deal means British fishermen can catch 30,000 tons more than before Brexit. Phew. Thank goodness for that. But it's just like kind of misinformation and Wally's like Michael Fabricant talking about Brexit. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so kind of belligerent and political, but it's it does happen occasionally. It does happen occasionally. But yeah, you sort of think, why am I streaming to Twitter? Why bother with everything that's going on over there? And sort of, if I look at the stats on the, literally there is no interaction over there at all. So, but sort of trend wise, we've seen kind of the inexorable rise of short form content. We've kind of had YouTube Shorts become a significant thing. We've kind of seen sort of TikTok solidify its position as kind of, I think it's now has it now overtaken YouTube as kind of the number one video platform. Now, for my for my sort of money, they're two very, very different things. So as I've said before, if you've ever had the sort of been sat through one of my my talks about YouTube, you'll know that it's kind of this, we're talking library based versus stream based, and TikTok is stream. You find yourself scrolling through endless videos, and you're kind of given, you're sort of served content up, and you don't really, or at least not many people, sort of treat it like a search engine, if that makes sense. Whereas with YouTube, it's kind of, it is very much that sort of thing. So I still think there is an absolute place for kind of for both of those platforms in your marketing life. Let me just double check that I'm not missing anybody's what I can certainly say about the Death in the Afternoon is that if you were to drink 5 of these slowly, as per the suggestions of Ernest Hemingway, you would be very, very much somebody who couldn't think straight, talk, perhaps even move. Emma says, I wish I liked. I know, Emma, this is exact. Emma has just said, I wish I liked TikTok. How can I use it without wanting to be a mind skinner? I think so. My feeling is that you start off with repurposing. You start off by creating short form content intentionally for other platforms, and then you're posting to TikTok as well, because this is sort of how I feel about it. But I feel actually because I'm sort of my instinct is not sure. This will be unsurprising to hear for those of you who know me. You will not be surprised to learn that short form content is not my natural place of happiness. I like to get sort of deeper into kind of a subject. And so being asked to condense something down into 60 seconds is sort of provides a degree of existential terror. But I have to do it, you know. Like when pushed, I can do it. Oh, good. I'm pleased something I'm saying makes sense. Good. I'm glad it does make sense because listen, the audience is there, and I was talking with Robert. So I started working with a guy who's over in lives over in Massachusetts. He's a sort of fabulous, really fascinating guy. We're setting up his YouTube channel, and we're sort of talking about the repurposing, and so creating short form content. And then, you know, if you've got short form content that's been created for YouTube, well, frankly, you might as well put it into TikTok and Instagram. You know, they might not be primary platforms for you, but they kind of you know, if you've got the content, set it free. You know, it's kind of a little bit of existential terror. Liz says, I'm definitely I'm assuming that's multitasking or multi-taking. Either way. Are you talking about the multiple hot takes I've had on Brexit, Michael Fabricant's hair, and sort of TikTok? Well, who am I? It's Christmas. You know, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. So one of the reasons I was running late is because I sort of took an ill-timed trip to the supermarket and sort of ended up practically fighting somebody for some. God, this is going to sound like the most aggressive middle class things. Fighting somebody for the last tub of ricotta, but then deciding I was going to make it myself. So there we go. I know, yeah, Liz. No, I know. I'm teasing. Yes, I am sort of. I'm the captain on the bridge of my own video madness. I have wine with me and I'm writing reports. What are the reports on, Liz? I want to know. Are they just general reports, professional? Are you connecting with your handler in Washington DC? I've said too much. Yeah, so we've just started watching the new not Jack Reacher, whatever it is, the thing with John Krasinski on the spy. It's a spy thing on Amazon. that's what I can get out, and it's quite good. So I'm all about sort of, you know, handlers and sort of extractions and all that kind of stuff. Ah, that's it. Yes, of course, I forgot you. So you're so Liz is in the world of continuous improvement. If you don't know her, which many of you will, it is a world which is fascinating and actually something that I'm kind of have always had an interest in, because whilst I'm somebody that loves the idea of continuous improvement, I'm not sure if I'm very good at implementing it. So I like to learn from people who know what they're talking about. Emma says it's like 24. I love it. Exactly. Yeah, it is. It's good. It's great, isn't it? It's really good. The first season was really strong. The second season I thought was a little bit iffy. And the final season, this season has been really good. And it's sort of, you know, when you look at it and think it's Jim from The Office, which is weird, isn't it? What else have we been watching? Oh yeah. So Liz, you've got to give For All Mankind a go. I think you'll love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Um, as is Severance on kind of on Apple Plus. Um, it's let's see. Are we talking about Jim from The Office? There we go. For All Mankind is fabulous. It's one of my favorite shows actually. So I don't watch a huge amount of telly, unlike my children who've just been, oh my god, they have been the sort of the holiday. They have basically sort of just sat on the sofa because the weather's been so terrible down here. They have been watching their way through as many episodes of Bob's Burgers as they can kind of physically squeeze into their brain, which I'm sure they've watched them all multiple times over. But that level of extreme laziness is something that once upon a time I would have admired, but now as a parent I kind of look at and go on, do something more useful. What have we got? Just making sure I'm not missing. So Andy, sorry, I've just so Andy has just asked, Tom, I didn't see the start, so I missed the recipe of Death in the Afternoon. Can you advise before you forget? Andy, I don't think I can. Because so it's very, very simple. It's a measure of absinthe, and then you just top it up with champagne. I mean, it barely qualifies as a cocktail, but it's got in because it feels really decadent. And see, here's an insight as to how my brain works. For me, Christmas is it's a decadent time. You can enjoy the kind of the excesses available to us all, and champagne and absinthe seems pretty decadent to me. So it's a little festive decadence. Now, Mike, I was hoping Mike Boss would be here, but sadly Mike can't be here. Mike Boss, who, if you don't know, is something of a mince pie aficionado. We've made a mince pie, and I wanted to get his take on it, because I feel it's a borderline heretical mince pie, in as much that it's almost like a crumble pastry, so a mince pie crumble. It's absolutely amazing. It's incredible. Well, we've absinthe. We've had about 50. Well, Liz, get yourself a bottle of fizz from Lidl. Chill it hard, and get yourself a proper Death in the Afternoon going. A Death in the Christmas Afternoon. Yes, no, and it's super simple, Andy. It's like just champagne and absinthe mixed together. I think gin might. So the French 75 is the gin and champagne and lemon juice, but no, this is. I was going to do a French 75, but do you know what? We're out of gin, which is crazy. Yeah. So. Well, lucky you! Isn't that great? What an amazing thing to find. So yeah, you should get yourself a bit of the old Hemingway Death in the Afternoon going. But yeah, I am. I mean, it's not. If this were to be in Bernard, it would be very much a sort of, this is not a champagne, this is not a cocktail for beginners, kind of drink. But I think it's yeah. I mean, it's nice. I like it. I would have this more regularly, but it's not the sort of thing to sort of. I think it's not the sort of thing to have on a regular basis. But Are there any questions about video? I feel like we should probably at least make some vague attempt to make this about work related stuff. Although, you know, it's the 22nd, isn't it? 22nd of December. How is it? It feels like only yesterday I was in LA on the DI mastermind. I find it incredible, actually. So Liz says, would it be wrong to give it to the in-laws on Christmas Day? My father-in-law can be a bit tricky and it might quieten him down. I feel like this is, yeah, look, Liz, it's worth a try. My professional take on this is that it's the sort of thing which it'll go one of two ways. He'll either be running around the garden in his underpants, or he'll be quiet and asleep on the sofa. If you're willing to roll that die and take that chance, it could be for it, to be honest, either way, you're in for a laugh. So, you know, yeah. So I feel that this year has gone both simultaneously far too quickly and far too slowly, because it's not been, you know, I've worked with some amazing people this year. It's been fabulous, and certain things have not gone quite as well as I'd have quite as well as I'd hoped. That's it. You come for the video tips, you stay for the bad advice about family interpersonal management. What I'm not saying is that family interpersonal trickiness should or can be solved with champagne and absinthe. But what I'm also not saying is that it can't. What I am saying is it's worth a try. That's all I can do. Thank goodness we're not doing this on a public-facing internet platform. So I've just seen, Andy, I've just seen your comment that says Liz is reporting on me. It's a cool. So yeah, I don't think Liz is an international spy. But I just don't know. We had a teacher at school who he was a history teacher, and he ran Russian club, which I did. So I learned a bit of Russian at school. But he also did hang gliding and rock climbing. And I sort of, as I sort of got older, you sort of look back and think, there's no way that man wasn't a spy in the sort of, you know, James Bond mold. Learn to, you know, or either he was. that's more me, to be honest. But yeah, teaching, or it was attempting to sort of turn us into Russian sleeper agents, which I don't think I am. I feel I've missed the boat on that one. My God, we've got so. I don't think we've had a brief discussion of TikTok. That is as video-ish as it's got. What can I talk about? That's kind of. This is a badly planned live, by the way. It's a badly planned live. Normally, these would be planned out with military precision, so that when I went off topic, I could sort of look down at my notes and go, "That's where I'm supposed to be." The problem is, I look down, and all I see is a half-finished absinthe cocktail, and it's, you know, that's not a plan. That's just an invitation to trouble. I'd make a good spy. Emma says you'd make a good spy. Well, given the fact that I'm almost clinically unable to keep a secret if it's too exciting, you know, unless it's, you know, important, and it kind of, I would make a terrible spy. What I am good at, I'm really good at hide and seek. So this is something that's I have kind of we playing hide and seek with the kids is hilarious because they assume that I'm going to be crap at it. But more times than I care to admit, I have been feet away, hiding in I'm a big lad. You don't think I can hide, but I can hide and seek. So that's well, they no. So you see, here's the problem. The secrets that spies have to keep. Yes, they are important, but they're not kind of they're not embarrassing personal secrets. They're not the kind of things a friend tells you and says, I just need to get this off my chest. Please tell no one. That's the kind of secret I can take to my grave. But if someone says, Psst, I know where all the plutonium is, I'd be like, hey, guess what? That's the kind of secret I'd be terrible at keeping. Yeah, hiding in plain sight. I'm like a middle-aged ninja. That's me. I'm thinking I might have another splash of champagne, but probably not with the absinthe in. So yeah, no, I'd make a terrible spy. I'd make a terrible spy. If all that spying kind of required was sort of a light puzzle solving and hide and seek, then I would be all over it. But no, I'd be a terrible spy. The travel, It says, I hid behind the curtain in our living room for ages, and my son didn't find me for ages. That was some time ago, though. Now, as he's 17, he's not into hide and seek now. Well, not that he's told his mum, of course. Listen, I'm a great believer that hide and seek is one of those games that can be enjoyed at any age, as long as so. I am. I hid on top of the wardrobe not too long ago. Everyone said I was mad for getting up there. The wardrobe did take my weight. It's a well constructed wardrobe, so it wasn't gonna collapse on me. But nobody saw me. That sort of wonderful bit where you can peek out and you can see everybody in the room going, where the bleeding hell is he? Andy, enjoy the gnocchi and a flinty, dry Italian. Have a lovely Christmas, matey, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you in the new year. So we have talked about some right old toot this evening, haven't we? I've had one, and that's quite enough. I have to function tomorrow. I've got to do some editing, and I've got to be broadly functional, and sort of today things I did today was kind of did some editing, did a bit of shopping, built a gingerbread house. And sort of, I always leave making the Christmas pudding until too late, and this year has been no exception. So I have been searching for quick Christmas pudding recipes, and I've got a good one. It's kind of a one that you do in 24 hours, and it's really good. So I've started that process as well. So I've achieved a decent amount. Emma says, I meant hiding atop the wardrobe. Yes, I mean it's kind of. I didn't need any encouragement to do that. All I needed was the satisfaction of being able to sort of peek down and go, I can see you. Oh, No, I know. I've got the rest. I've got a great recipe. So for Christmas lunch, well, okay. So this year we're doing things slightly differently, and it is, for some it will be heretical. For others, it will sound like the best idea ever. We are having our big meal on Christmas Eve. So we're keeping it kind of Hungarian, Eastern European. Having that sort of big meal on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day we are just going to have kind of some sort of cold grazing food. So a big cheese board, quiches, and sort of I'm going to do some classic prawn cocktails, stuff like that, and we are just going to graze. But for Christmas Eve, so we went to the fish market yesterday down in Brixham, and I picked up a whacking great turbot. So we're having a whole roasted turbot as our sort of centerpiece on Christmas Eve. Again, sort of keeping it a bit Eastern European. I like a nice big sort of centerpiece fish. We did carp one year, which I didn't really like because it was very bony and it took forever to cook. But yeah, no, we got on well. We went to Brixham Fish Market, and I got a nice big turbot. So yeah, so I'm going to roast the turbot with on a bed of potatoes and fennel, and I'm going to chuck in a whole bunch of clams with it. I was slightly, I was going to need to go and get the clams tomorrow, so there'll be little clams turbot sort of covered in lemon, and then I'll make a beurre blanc with that, and that will be our sort of big centerpiece Christmas meal, and yeah, it's all good. It's going to be great. Looking forward to seeing family over Christmas. Yeah, Liz, I'll do that. So I will be running. So next year we're going to be doing this. So I will sort of, as a last thing, I'll sort of run through the things that we're going to be doing next year. So the one-to-one work I am going to do is going to be very minimal, as I've realised that actually the one-to-one work is kind of one of the things that I enjoy if I've got like a tiny amount of it. The one-to-one stuff we are going to do though is on retreats. So we're going to be doing 2 retreats up at the farm, and we are going to do a retreat in Italy. The Italian retreat was going to be May, but because, as it turns out, there's people who are a lot bigger than us who are running retreats in that week that we chose. So we're going to push it into September. But I'm going to be running retreats up at the farm again, and those are going to be content retreats. So we'll be able to get together for 3 days and film a bunch of content up in Worcestershire, and that's sort of going to be the one-to-one face-to-face stuff. I'm going to be talking about a sort of an audio and video content creation service, which is kind of aimed at podcasting as well. And we have the sort of the one-to-one stuff done through retreats, a small amount of one-to-one stuff face-to-face done through kind of that sort of I don't know how you describe it, just sort of straight up one-to-one stuff. Then we will have the sort of online stuff, so testimonials, the testimonials package, YouTube Kickstart, but we'll also be doing Video Academy Go Live to Thrive. So I'm going to be doing a launch in March. So we are gearing up to do a launch in March, which is quite exciting. So Emma says, are you a spy posing as a chef who creates videos about turbots? Quite possibly, to be honest. My interests are hugely varied, but mostly feature food and or games. I'm a huge nerd, and I like kind of board games and anything that involves real human interaction. Computer games I can sort of take or leave, but games I love. But I love food, I love games, I love video. They're all about first equal, to be honest. And I like throwing parties, which is why I love doing retreats. So we are going to be doing this sort of fancy pants high end stuff, which will be the kind of Italian villa kind of sort of, I don't know how to describe it other than saying it's kind of the high end stuff. It's sort of that's kind of the luxury end of it. But what I'm not saying is that the stuff in Worcestershire isn't luxurious. It's just a different vibe. I think is probably the way to describe it. It's a bit more sort of sitting around a campfire kind of thing, if that makes sense, as opposed to sitting around a pool. Yeah. I mean, it was rustic and basic, as I did just a simple goulash, but that was, that's the kind of thing I like. I both like high end cooking, a sort of whole roasted turbot with a beurre blanc, that kind of thing, and also at the same time something kind of smoky and campfire cooked and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, look, I'm seriously rambling now, and I have a is this Ruth says my favorite fish, turbot. Have you ever made coulibiac? No, I have not. Mike Boss, the Boss Meister, the Bee Man. How are you? I'm about to bring this to a close, but it's lovely to see you here, Mike. I was talking about you earlier, and we were having a bit of a mince pie talk, a bit of mince pie chat going on. We've made mince pies, including the mincemeat. I went into it, which I use a spiced rum in. But the actual substrate, the pastry, is more of a crumble. And I have to say, they have been some of the finest mince pies I've ever tasted. I might package one up and send it your way, because I think as a mincefluencer, as a man who kind of is knowledgeable in all things mince pie, I would like to send one your way and get your hot mince pie take. Right, I'm going to bring this to a close because I am frankly a little bit squiffy after that death in the afternoon, which unsurprisingly has hit me amidships, and I am slowly sinking. But I will see you all over the I will be sort of active over Christmas, but I won't be going live because I'm sort of attempting to actually take some time off, as opposed to fretting about work, and kind of not getting much done other than fretting. But it has been lovely to have you here. Thank you for being here and sort of listening to my nonsense and sort of getting stuck in and being part of this. And yeah, I will see you in 2023, and have a lovely, lovely Christmas and a fabulous New Year, because I really do value everybody who comes in and is part of this merry nonsense. It's really appreciated. So yeah, have a fabulous festive season, and I will see you on the other side. Take care. Bye bye.